particular year, we're going to be focusing on a series of books called A Perfect 10 by Melody Buber. So the thing I like about her books is that it has a variety of styles that we've been working on in my studio over the past 4 years. And this is a combination of everything, kind of a review of sort. So in order to get going, this is book 1. I've laid out some things that you need to know and you might need to practice and become familiar with before you start diving into the book. So I've written a list of all the things that you might need to know here. So I wanted just to go over them briefly with you. Most of you are probably right-handed, so you can see how the right hand finger numbers are marked 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Anytime that you see the notes written in the treble clefs, such as when the notes are in the higher clef up here, that's when the right hand is going to play them. All right, so some of you are left-handed, so your more dominant hand is going to be easy to learn. The left hand notes are the lower clef. The left hand does the lower notes on the low side of the piano, and the right hand is in charge of the upper notes on the right side. All right, so you can see in the music how the notes are mixed up. It kind of goes from one to the other, and you kind of just follow, but like reading like a book, like you were reading the words, you read from the left to the right. So on this particular song, on the first page, you have individual notes. So you're just going to be playing one note at a time. But how do you play the notes, and what notes do you play? So that's why I've got these cards laying out here. The right hand notes are going to be using the notes in the middle C position. You can see this is middle C as it has the line through the note head. Here's middle C. I always tell my students it's right where the name of your piano is. There's 2 black keys. Middle C is right below that 2 black keys. Okay, now middle C is where you're going to place your right hand thumb, and each finger is going to play a note there. C, D, E, F, and G. C, D, E, F, and G. The left hand is also going to do the same. The left hand is going to start with C, same C. This is where it kind of breaks between the left to the right side. So you're going to start with C. B is below C. Then it goes down. A, G, and F. So you're going to be beginning with your hands in the middle C position. Sometimes your thumbs share the middle C. Sometimes they're side by side, such as in this song here. Now it says to place my 2 finger on the letter E right here. Okay, so I need to have my thumbs side by side so that I can play. Like that. All right, so this song is just going to keep your hands in the middle area right here. But some of the songs later in the book will take your hands a little higher and a little lower. So if that's the case, you're going to need to know these notes down here. C, the bass clef C. Okay, not the middle C. See how much lower it is? It's in the bass clef. It's down here. C, D is the next line up, and E, the next space up. Okay, if you need to go even lower, there's a few more notes that you might need to learn. B, A, and G. That takes us to the very bottom line on the bass clef. So B, A, and G. Okay, so the notes just go up, line, space, line, space, line, space, all the way up the piano. So every line and every note, every space has a particular place to be played on the piano. The same with these notes here. You've got A, B, C, and D. If you go above the middle C position, here's your A, B, C, and D. And if you keep going higher, here are your E, F, and G. Another element that you need to become very familiar with are the types of notes. You're going to see these types of notes both in the treble clef, the upper area of the piano, as well as the bass clef, the lower area of the piano. This one is called a whole note. It gets 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of like your heartbeat. You can make those faster, you can make them slower, but they want to be steady. That's the whole note, gets 4. The half note gets 2 beats. Half of 4 would be 2, right? All right, so 1, 2. So usually when you play a whole note, you hold it for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. The half note, you hold it for 2 beats. 1, 2. The quarter note, 1/4 of the measure, it gets 1 beat. Okay, so 1/4 of a whole is 1. So just 1. And that's what you're going to be seeing a lot through this song, is just the 1 beat, the quarter notes. On this particular song, you are going to see the dotted half notes. That looks like this one, but it has a dot after it. We're going to hold those for 3. You'll also be seeing later on in the music, in this book, the 8th note, it gets 1/2 of a count. Same with these two, each one receives 1/2. The half rest looks like a hat, like a snowman hat, gets 2 beats. And the quarter rest, which just gets 1 beat of rest. Shh. Sometimes I have my students say shh when it's the quarter rest, so that they actually do something, they don't skip over it. Okay. Let me show you a little bit about how this song is going to sound when you begin practicing it. Now, did you notice there was 2 different ways I played that? One is called staccato. That's the first one right here. See, it's got the little dot under the note. That's the first kind that I see here. The dot can be above the note or under it, just depending on which way the stems go. So the first measure has all staccato sounds, which are quick, detached. You want to pretend that the piano is hot, so you're not like resting on it or taking a long time holding your finger down on it. You want to make it very detached. You don't have to play faster, just release your hand off of it more quickly, like it's hot. The second way is the slur. Sometimes the slurs, that one looks kind of funny, it's going from the top to the bottom. Usually they kind of go like that, or maybe more like that. Looks like a smiley face, kind of, sort of, okay? That means to play legato. These words, staccato and legato, are Italian words, and we need to learn a lot of the Italian language regarding our music, because they don't translate it into our English language most of the time. So we have to be familiar with some of these words. Legato means to play smooth and connected. So that's when it goes like this. So there's no break. It's like you would sing instead of just play the note and release. You're going to connect it. Watch for those places where it's staccato, such as that, or legato, such as that. Okay. On the next page over, you'll see some chords. A chord is where you have maybe 3 notes played together. Okay, so here you can see this chord is where you have 3 notes stacked up on top of each other. That means you're going to play all 3 at the same time. Now, this particular one is written for the left hand to play the G, the C, and the E up in the treble clef. So it sounds like that, okay? So when the notes are stacked up on top of each other, you'll know to play them together all at the same time. On this song, though, the left hand plays the middle C, the right hand uses the 2 and the 4 to play the E and the G. So 2 and 4, so it sounds like a little bit higher. And then you play again here a chord, but notice it's a little bit lower. It's A on the bottom, C and E, so it's going to sound like this. And that reminds me about the difference between the major and the minor. Can you hear that? The first chord sounds like this. Very happy, very stately. That's the major. That's a C major chord. This one here, you can hear it's different. What does that sound like? A little more mysterious or sad or serious, something like that. So you can hear that's the minor sound. All right, so then after it does that, it takes us up to one note where it has a fermatus. So it goes kind of like you're starting the song again. Ritardando, just slow it down and then pause on the fermata as long as you want to. And then a tempo, back to the original speed of the song where you began it. So it has a nice little flamboyant ending where it has staccatos and the crescendos, and I think it'll sound very nice when you learn the whole song and you can play it all the way through.